Welcome to episode 70 of the Champs and Chums podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Ashton.
FatherSon FunTalk on sports, life, and friendship. Coming up on milestone episode 70. Holy Mackinac! We'll go 2-on-2, lease forever, father and son forever, with the iconic voice of your Toronto Maple Leafs, Joe Bowen, and his son David Bowen, star play-by-play broadcaster for the Sudbury Wolves. A mic drop of epic proportions. Father and son will go gold, silver, bronze for favorite father and son sports broadcasters. And we'll head for home on episode 70 with our special segments. All Pro Go, a Did You Know Sports Spotlight, and Champs and Chums personal salutes to our stars on and off the field. That's all coming up on milestone episode 70 of the Champs and Chums podcast. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to Champs and Chums. Happy June, everybody. Happy Father's Day month. We're so glad to be with you. It's Anthony and Ashton, your co-hosts here for a milestone episode 70 of Champs and Chums, FatherSon FunTalk of sports, life, and friendship. And it's now my privilege and pleasure to bring in on this milestone occasion, milestone month, here it's Father's Day, is my forever champ and chum co-host Ashton. Ashton, how you doing, my man?
I am doing amazing and can't wait to start off milestone episode 70.
Fans, we want to thank you so much. This passion project started with a very small conversation with Ashton and I in summer of 2019. It is now officially summer of 2025, and here we are powering the airwaves for our 70th episode. Ashton, fist bumps off the top. Congratulations. How you feeling about milestone episode 70? We've eclipsed for Champs and Chums.
Well, it feels great to know that we've made it to another milestone. We were once at 50, then 60, and now we're at 70. So, yeah, it's great to see that our passion project has been kept going for the
Well, yeah, and the story keeps getting better and better. And Ashton, what do you want to say to the fans? The nation of Champs and Chums fans, we love you all. I gotta say, for all your love and listens and support. What do you want to say to the fans, Ashton?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. We love you all, and we couldn't thank you enough for your support. And you guys have been here, some since day one, some recent listeners, but still, we know you guys really love the stuff we talk about, sports, life, and friendship, and this is full passion project, and it's been really fun.
Good stuff. Well, we're going to get into it here. There's so much to catch up on, and we just talked about a great milestone. That's episode 70 of Champs and Chums, and June is an extra great month. It is always a great month to talk about fathers and son and fatherhood and the importance of that. But obviously, June shines a spotlight on Father's Day, Ashton. So I guess, you know what, fans? You had an opportunity. If you haven't, you can always watch it on playback. Ashton and I, for, I believe, Ashton, the 6th year in a row, we had a special kickoff to Father's Day weekend on Facebook Live. That was quite an enthusiastic run on tons of memories between father and son. But let's bring it here to the core on episode 70, Ashton. I mean, what does Father's Day mean to you?
Well, it's really a time to recognize and reflect on everything that fathers have done for us, and it's just a really time to have show appreciation and love to the father figures, and soon to be fathers as well. And I think it's just a great time to look back and acknowledge all that the fathers have done for us.
Well, that's amazing, and I'm so glad that you said, fathers and father figures and fathers to be, because there's a special place for those people who really form the good graces and inspiration of what fatherhood should be about, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Well, Ashton, let's reflect actually on Father's Day 2025. Fans, if you followed our story on Champs and Chums, you know that Father's Day for your co-hosts here, Anthony and Ashton, have always, there's always been something not just special but extraordinary that happens, and that certainly was the case for Father's Day 2025. Ashton, you fans, you might have seen it on our social channels, but why don't you tell the fans who haven't seen it yet, Ashton, how did we share Father's Day 2025?
So we were invited to go down to the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball game. Yes, the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the actual Inter-County League Toronto Maple Leafs. So we were invited by their in-arena voice, or in-stadium voice, Michael, shout out to him. And we got to throw out the first pitch, which is something you get once in a lifetime. That's truly once in a lifetime.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible, fans. If you haven't checked out the BTS, or behind the scenes, if you will, of that great experience, check it out. It's on Instagram and Facebook. I believe it's on X as well too. But check it out, and let's get down to it, Ashton. I mean, so there was complete surprise actually on Dad's side by myself, because I had thought actually that it was actually just one ceremonial first pitch, but only to find out probably just a couple minutes before the start of us getting up onto the mound, Ashton, and walking before that great crowd. A beautiful day down at Christie Pitts, by the way. I found out that I had to throw a pitch too. And, Ashton, you tell the fans how you think you did, and then I'll give them my report.
I just went four seam and just try to get it in the strike zone, and I actually painted the top right corner.
You sure did. And to the ovation of the crowds, I actually heard a few of the players saying, "What an arm!" So, man, you really impressed those folks there with the way that you painted the corner, Ashton. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, it feels good because you can only get this once in a lifetime, so you have to really make it truly ceremonial.
Okay, so let's now turn it over to Dad's reflection. So we just heard Ashton saying that he painted the corner. It was almost like he painted a Picasso because the pitch was so perfect. Well, fans, evidence will be seen on the video that Father did not paint a Picasso. It was pretty poor, actually. I was probably 1.5 feet off a home plate, much to the chagrin of yours truly here. And I heard lots of members down at Christie Pitt saying, wow, not in a way that was over marvel of what I threw, but utter embarrassment, actually, to see an old man like me get up there. And I didn't have a chance to warm up, Ashton. That was the problem.
You had more warm-up than me.
I didn't. So here's the thing. You tell the fans. Before I was getting ready, I was dialed in. I was right there, down the pipe, everybody.
Yeah, you were warming up with me, and he was going right down the middle. And then
right down the middle.
And then you see his pitch, and it's like so different. It's day and night.
Yeah, it was day and night.
And
I wish it was night so nobody could see who that guy was that threw that.
And then after we went on the field for a bit because the field was open after the game.
Oh yeah.
This guy was throwing heat.
I
He's
know.
painting corners and everything.
Yeah. Thanks, Ashton. So fans, I'm hoping to get another chance. Like Ashton said, it's a once in a lifetime experience. We are so grateful to Michael, and who's, as Ashton said, is the on-field stadium voice for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we want to thank the event staff. They were top-notch, treated us like rock stars down there, had us at the tent there, the VIP tent. Really enjoyed it. But guys, if there's ever a chance that Father over here can give it a second shot, I'm more than willing. Now, Ashton, this is kind of getting me a little bit pumped up because we're on quite a roll with all the things that have happened on Father's Day. Of course, getting the Vladdy Guerrero, getting the toss-up in 2022, changing the bases together on the field before 40,000 people at the Rogers Center last year, and then now getting a chance to throw the ceremonial first pitch. I think there's more opportunity here for us. Like, what do you say that we talk to some of the bigwigs over at Raptors 905 and maybe we get a chance to shoot it from center court with stripes?
Oh, geez. I think I missed that by about 5 feet, but yeah, that would be really nice, actually.
I'm bringing my arm. I'm getting it ready. But yeah, thanks again to the Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball Club, and shout out to episode 20, Best of Guest, World Series champion, former Blue Jay Rob Butler, who certainly on a busy game day made time to catch up with us. Always so great to catch up with Rob Butler, and he's doing a really great job, Ashton, with those Toronto Maple Leafs. This is his second year as field manager for the team.
Yeah, they've been doing really well, and they actually beat the third-place team, Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
Yep.
And, yeah, it was a great game. Great baseball down in Christie Pitts.
Yeah, so that
Toronto.
was a special Father's Day. Met virtually all the players, Ashton, who took time out to sign a ball for you. And, of course, we met the Japanese ace, Ashton, Ayami Sato. Sato, what a great lady she is.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see her pitch, but we saw her stretch, and she was there early. She was there at maybe 11, and the game started at 2, and she was just locking in and stretching, jogging, and like doing high knees across the field. It was great to see like the discipline of Ayami Sato.
Yeah, Ayami Sato. I should have taken a few pointers from her, Ashton, before I jumped up onto the mound to throw that ceremonial first pitch. But thank you again to the Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball Club. A winning day, a winning Father's Day 2025. Ashton, it's June. It's also the last day of school. Well, actually, this is the month of your last day of school, and I want to congratulate you, Ashton. We might have talked about this on the show. You graduated not only from grade 7. Congratulations on that, but you did it with honors again, man, and congratulations. That's 7 consecutive years that my great co-host here has been named to the honor roll. So you're doing it right, Ashton. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Well, yeah, it feels great. I always set goals for myself before the school year, and a couple of them to be a great student, get good grades, be a leader across the school, and also get honor roll. And with that comes the grades part. And yeah, I've just been focusing in class and working hard, and it all paid off at the end of the year.
Yeah, it sure did, my man. You've shown a tremendous amount of discipline. And, this was an extra bigger year for you because you were playing competitive baseball. We're going to get to an update on that, fans, in a sec. So I'm extra impressed. And I know you have a nation of fans, myself included, that are very very. It's actually not a surprise to me, Ashton, because I know how important it was to be extra disciplined this year, given your commitments to your bigger commitments to the world of baseball. So you must feel pretty special of being able to achieve that and really live that good habit of being that student athlete.
Yeah, it feels great. It feels great.
Good stuff. Okay, well, listen, let's get into that baseball chat. We got so much to catch up on here. So baseball is you're in full swing. The last time we in episode 69 when that dropped, a great interview, by the way, with the great Kayla Hansen of AFC Toronto. They're on a great run right now, and Kayla's playing some great defense. Looking forward to getting a chance to catch up with Kayla at a game later on this summer. We'll update you on that, fans, in a bit. But let's get back to the baseball, because I think at the time of the last recording and to now, you've had two travel tournaments, Ashton. How have they gone in your mind?
Well, we haven't won any of them, but
you were close against the game against the Stouffville Yankees.
Yeah,
fans.
we were close. We only lost by a run. So, I think the first tournament was our sleepaway tournament, our only one this year in Niagara. There were some good teams. There were some really good teams there.
Overnight tournament, yeah.
And, as I said, there were some really good teams. And they came to play, we came to play. And in the end, it didn't go our way, but at least we came with effort and heart as well.
Well, and that's really important. I mean, basically where you are, to me, I think the wins and losses and that record is not as big as what the commitment to growth and development of your game, being part of a team. I mean, as we've mentioned many times before on the show, Ashton, the Brampton Royals, the AA team for the 13U is really is a brand new team. There's probably about 3 or 4 players from the previous year. So it's going to take some time for you guys to come together, but it's been really nice to see the bats looking alive. The pitching's been good. You've been had some really great performances on the pitching side. The hitting's coming along. The fielding's been great. So I just think it's a matter of you guys getting it together all at the right time. And who knows? Maybe I know you've got the home tournament coming up next month. That's July, that the Brampton Royals are hosting. And, of course, provincial qualifiers, Ashton. How do you think, as you look ahead to the summer, how that's all going to go?
Well, we're hosting the Brampton tournament, and we're playing some good teams. I think the Brampton Royals 12U AAA and some other AA teams that we've faced and haven't faced, but we'll see how it's going to go. I mean, provincials will definitely be tough, as there's going to be AAA teams playing down, so we're going to have to play some of those AAA teams, but I think these are really the formative years of, getting better at baseball and becoming a better baseball player as well, and developing, and also just having fun as well.
Well, you got a couple months more before you get into that, just under a couple months, I guess, get into that provincial qualifying weekend. So hopefully you guys can make some noise and be competitive, and that'll be a nice finale to the season. So I really think, and I'm sure your coaches are doing this, like every game out is a marker in terms of how you can improve. So I think that's pretty special, and looking forward to more swings and misses from the pitchers, and more big swings and big belts by the batters on your team. It's been a rewarding and special season thus far. Well, Ashton, there's lots going on in all the sports. I mean, geez, the last time we chatted, I don't think the Masters was going on. The U.S. Opens happened. We've got the NBA Finals at the time of this recording happening, and of course, Ashton, hockey has gone into the month of June. And what an epic playoff! Lots of excitement and action. But the Florida Panthers, again, a repeat of the Stanley Cup final from last year. The Florida Panthers have repeated as Stanley Cup champions. What is your thought about all that?
Well, I mean, the Panthers, they were the stronger team in that one, but the Oilers played their hearts out. I give them lots of credit. The Panthers are a really tough team to play. They're good both sides of the puck, and they have a great goaltender with Bobrovsky behind them. And it's just really tough to beat that team. They're like the best team in the NHL right now. So the Oilers didn't come out with the W, but they made Canada proud, though, that they made it.
Congratulations to the Stanley Cup winning Florida Panthers. And I hear you when you talk about the finalists. That's two-time finalists now, the Edmonton Oilers, and they're obviously powered by their top two players, McDavid and Draisaitl. But when you kind of look at the body of the result and the body of work, I would dare say that the Toronto Maple Leafs were the second best team in the NHL this past season.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty good.
They took the Panthers to Game 7. They were up 2-0. They actually should have been up 3-0. Remember, I think they were up 2-0 in Game 3, and they came back.
Yeah, I believe so. And then we went to that Game 5 where it didn't really go so good, but they actually forced them to Game 7, so they could have had a shot.
Well, they could have had a shot. And listen, you never know. It might be very well Stanley Cup winning for your Toronto Maple Leafs come next season. But Ashton, this is quite the segue here when we talk about Stanley Cup winning, because fans, we have Cup-winning guests, special guests for our special Father's Day month episode this month. It's milestone episode 70. And Ashton, I can't wait until you unveil for the fans who's coming up on episode 70.
The longtime and legendary voice of your Toronto Maple Leafs, Joe Bowen. And joining Joe is his son, David, who's a star play-by-play voice for the Sudbury Wolves.
Holy Mackinac, fans. The great, the iconic, the voice for generations of Maple Leaf hockey, Joe Bowen. That's right, everybody. Joe Holy Mackinac Bowen, who's I got to tell you something. It's extra special to catch up with Bonesy because of the news he shared just only days ago at the time of this recording, that he was going to step away and retire behind the Maple Leaf broadcast mic next season. So next season, 2025-2026, the great, the Hockey Hall of Famer, Joe Bowen, will be his last as a Toronto Maple Leaf. And, you know, it's I had the honor of teaming with Bonesy for my 3 seasons working in Leafs PR, an absolute class act, never a dull moment, always a belly laugh with Bonesy. You're not going to want to miss this. And, of course, what's been extra great, knowing how special fatherhood is to Bonesy with his boys as well, too, Ashton, I think having David Bowen on the show was an extra great get. He is entering his just completed his 3rd season as a broadcast star for the OHL Sudbury Wolves, Ashton. So it's an amazing 2 great gets, father and son, on this special Father's Day episode. Ashton, how you feeling about that?
Well, fans, let me tell you, it's going to be a great best of segment, and you won't want to miss it.
You won't want to miss it. That is Joe Bowen, David Bowen, episode 70, best of segment coming up on the show. All right, fans, we're going to keep moving along here, and we're going to keep the father and son spirit going here, because it is now time, fans, for our best of father-son free-for-all segment. And it is Father's Day, and your co-host started to think, what could we do to honor, of course, father and son on this extra special month? And so here's what we've come up with. We are going to share with you our gold, silver, bronze, father and son, for father and son sports broadcasters. All right, Ashton, take it away with your bronze medal.
My bronze medal is Jack and Joe Buck.
Jack and Joe Buck, father and son. Sadly, we lost father Jack in 2002, but What a career he had, Ashton. Why don't you tell the fans a little bit about Jack Buck?
Yeah, so Jack was an American sportscaster, and he announced the St. Louis Cardinals games, bringing it to baseball. And his play-by-play work earned him recognition from numerous Hall of Fames, baseball, pro football, and also radio. And he is a part of the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame Museum.
Yeah, that's right. And his play-by-play work, Ashton, has earned him tons of recognition, not just for baseball, but also in pro football and the radio space as well. So that's Jack Buck. Why don't you tell the fans a little bit more about his son, Joe Buck?
Yeah, his son Joe Buck is the Fox lead play-by-play voice for the NFL and the MLB coverage, and he also did cover the World Series as well, and in 2022, he moved to ESPN, and he is the lead play-by-play announcer for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, what a great name. Jack and Joe Buck, and I mean, yeah, I love Joe Buck's calls of World Series, NFL games on Fox as well, too. Good stuff. Okay, over to Dad for my bronze medal. And I'm going to give you one here as well, too, Ashton. It's a father and son sports broadcasters, Marv and Kenny Albert. How about that, Ashton?
Yeah, I've heard of the names, but you can tell us more about it or them.
Well, for sure. Happy to tell you a little bit more about Marv Albert. Well, first of all, he was honored in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He's commonly referred to as the voice of basketball. From 1967 to 2004, he was known as the voice of the New York Knicks, and he's worked on many games on the NBA on NBC and NBA games on TNT. As I mentioned, 2015, he was inducted to the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Of course, Marv has done some other sports as well, right? So ice hockey, horse racing, boxing, tennis. So there you go. There's Marv Albert, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Kenny Albert, his son. Well, first of all, Kenny Albert, Ashton, is born on February the 2nd.
Oh, that's just a day after yours.
The day after mine, and yeah, he's the son of Marv Albert. And Kenny Albert, I got to tell you, he's a name in hockey circles because he's called a lot of hockey in his career for MSG Network. He was the he's been the TV voice of the New York Rangers since 1995. He's also done some Fox coverage for Major League Baseball and National Football League as well too. So there you go, great father-son team, Marvin, Kenny Albert. Ashton, over to you for your silver medal.
My silver medal is our episode 14 Best of Guests, Neil and Jesse Lumsden.
Well, that was really clever on your part, fans, Neil and Jesse Lumsden, because, fans, let's start off with father. And first of all, they're two great men that joined us, father and son, episode 14. Dial back to that show. You're going to hear some really good stuff and some great wisdom and inspiration from those two. Now, currently, Neil Lumsden, I should call him Minister Lumsden, Ashton, because he is the Minister of Sport for the province of Ontario. Of course, a sports and business executive ahead of that. An athlete, of course, won multiple Grey Cups with those great Edmonton Eskimos teams. But Ashton, you're going to share, too, that he's had a broadcasting pedigree as well.
Yeah, so Neil did the CBC. He was a CBC sports analyst, and he did it for CFL football.
Yes, he did. I remembered actually Neil wearing the orange jackets. I think he did multiple games with the late Don Whitman for CFL football. And why don't you tell the fans a little bit about son Jesse, who obviously is another titan of sport. And he was actually a multi-sport athlete for the Olympics. In bobsleigh there, Ashton, for sure.
Yes, and Jesse was a national analyst for bobsleighing as well.
Yes, he was. World Championships he did for CBC Sports. I believe he did some Olympics. I was going to say multi-sport athlete because let's not forget, Jesse Lumsden starred in the CFL, Ashton, and he continues to do many great things in the world of leadership, inspiration, community engagement. His story is incredible. Those are great father and son team. That's Ashton silver medal, Neil and Jesse Lumsden. All right, over to Dad for my silver medal, and we're going to take it back to the world of hockey, although his son does a bit more than that. But I'm going to select, and we're going local here, Ashton, because my father and son best of sports broadcasters is Chris Cuthbert and Justin Cuthbert. So Chris, of course, the famous, he's a Brampton boy. Did you know that, Ashton?
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the lead play-by-play commentator on CBC Sports, Sportsnet for Hockey Night in Canada. He's been doing that for so long. You also heard CC, as they call him, on CFL on TSN from 2018 to 2019. He's done many Olympic Games. And he's born and raised, Ashton, in Brampton, and the school he went to was Brampton Centennial Secondary School. How about that?
Yeah, well, that's great to know. I think, is Brampton Centennial, I don't think it's close to here, but
it's southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And let's not forget about son, because the great chops that Chris Cuthbert has, you can hear it for Justin Cuthbert, because Justin Cuthbert is a star host on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. He's on the same show with, that's The Fan pregame, right? With Ailish Forfar. Our episode, I'm thinking, Ashton, I think it's 32. It's 32.
Yep, episode 32.
Oh, I got it right. Episode 32, Ailish Forfar, Justin Cuthbert, father and son with Chris Cuthbert. That's a great, great duo, and they're doing some great things. And Bramptonians to boot. All right, fans, it's time for gold medal award. So, Ashton, take it away with your gold medal for father and son sports broadcasters.
My gold medal is Dan and Ben Schulman.
Now that is another iconic father and son sports duo. Start with Dan, and then we'll talk a bit about Ben.
Yeah, so Dan, you can hear him on TV. He does the Jays, and he did college basketball, and he did university basketball for the University of Western Ontario, and he did the 1994 Olympics CTV coverage for hockey and the 1994 World Championships of basketball as well.
Yeah, Dan Schulman. And let's not forget, fans, Ashton, you might not know this, but the early origins of CJCL, the Fan 590, Dan Schulman was one of the originals, as well as Storm and Norman Rumack, as well, who was in episode 33, Best of Guests, as well as Roger Lajoie, add Mike Wilner, add Barry Davis. We've had some real legends of the Fan 590 on our program. But I was talking just now about Dan Schulman, and he was actually on the Fan. Actually, I believe did the Drive Home show back in the early 90s, 92, 93, with Jim Shaky Hunt, the late Jim Shaky Hunt, who I had a chance to meet. You're going to have to Google Jim Hunt, Ashton, the longtime columnist for the Toronto Sun. May his soul rest beautifully. It was Jim Shaky Hunt and Dan Schulman. And this is kind of what's great about it, is that, as a sports fan all my life, and to be able to work with some of these great pros throughout my career, and now through the podcast, being able to connect and introduce them to you, has been absolutely amazing. But Dan Schulman, an absolute great, did ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. I love his cadence. I love the way he paints a picture of the game, Ashton. And let's talk about Ben Schulman now.
Yes, Ben, who I met. Ben,
you did?
Yeah.
Yes, Ashton. That's right. That was last Christmas around then.
Yeah, at the 9:05 game, he was doing the broadcast. And he does the Jays and the Raptors. So you hear him on the radio, the Jays, and he does some Raptors work as well, and also the 9:05.
Yeah, it was really great to meet Ben Schulman, and I got to tell you, Ashton, I can see where he gets that real talent from. His dad is a pro, and so is Ben Schulman. What a great opportunity to talk with that guy. He took over he is the radio play-by-play broadcaster for the Jays. But actually, Ashton, here's another Champs and Chums connection. He was a Fan 590 guy. I teamed up with him during the day. He is the voice of Raptors play-by-play basketball. And when Ben Schulman is not available to do Blue Jays radio play-by-play, who is our featured guest, our champ and chum that we know?
Eric Smith.
Eric Smith, episode 24, best of guest. Shout out to E. He's been calling some Blue Jay games, Ashton, because Ben Schulman's been on assignment. But getting back to Ben Schulman, what a talent he is. I hope he does 905 again, but he's been doing some great stuff on the Blue Jays broadcast.
Yeah, and that was, at the time of this recording, Eric Smith was covering for him for just this week, and he's going to be back.
All right, fans, it's now gold medal time, and I got to turn to this one here as well, too, behind the mic, because we are just a segment away from listening in on this great father and son duo, these pros of pros. That is Joe Bowen and David Bowen, who are guesting on our show, special guests. So looking forward to having them on. You're going to hear the resume in the intro that I make of Joe and David, but just to highlight it, of course, Joe Bowen is an absolute icon. He is the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has been the music of the lives of Maple Leafs fans for over 4 decades, Ashton. And, you know, there was a lot of sadness, actually, when Joe announced just recently that he was going to step away from the broadcast mic. He was going to retire next season. But here's the great thing, fans. You're going to have a whole season. We are going to have a whole season of celebrating one of the greatest broadcasters in the world, Ashton. The way this guy calls a game with such excitement, with such enthusiasm. Like, you feel you're there, Ashton. What do you think?
Yeah, like, even listening to him on the radio,
I jump out of my seat.
Yeah, exactly. Such good energy through the airwaves, and I know the Leafs fans can feel it, and that's why he's getting the bittersweet kind of comments.
Yeah,
and
bittersweet it is, but
yeah.
Here's the one. We got to win one for Bonesy.
Yeah.
We got to win the cup for Bonesy next year. So Brad Treliving, Keith Pally, I don't know if you're listening to this program, Craig Berube, and Captain Austin Matthews. Guys, let's make it happen, okay? Now let's turn, Ashton, and take a Leaf phrase, because Joe's son, David, is record-breaking. He's only 25. Is it 25 years old?
He's 24.
24 years old, and this kid is phenomenal. And obviously he's learned a lot from his dad in terms of what he's brought. And this young man shared the play-by-play broadcast duties for a next-gen game, Ashton. You were there.
Yes, I was there, and I saw the CBC video that was published about it. And Joe said he was very proud. It was a proud moment as a father.
And look, he's being groomed, everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if David Bowen is going to be in the NHL calling games very soon. 3+ seasons with the OHL Sudbury Wolves. He has his own show now, too, by the way, a podcast, Ashton, called the Dencast. It's very, very informative.
Yeah, it's all things Sudbury Wolves, so check it out, fans.
There you go. So that's my gold medal. Joe Bowen, David Bowen. You're going to hear him come up on the next Best Of segment. But Ashton, right now, you're going to take us to break.
This ends our Father-Son Free-for-All segment. More Father-Son Fun Talk coming up. You're listening to the Champs and Chums podcast.
FatherSon FunTalk. You're listening to Milestone episode 70 of the Champs and Chums podcast. And Ashton, it's now time for a next edition of our Best Of segment. And what championship guests we have for our fans this special Father's Day month. Hey Ashton, I got 2 questions for you, my man. Are you ready for a cup of Joe on episode 70?
Sure am.
Are you ready to make the save for Dave here on Champs and Chums?
Of course.
Well, our very special guests are a dynamic father and son duo who put extraordinary meaning into the words best of. Father is the longtime and legendary voice of your Toronto Maple Leafs. He has electrified Leafs Nation with his signature broadcast talent and forever thrilling calls. He is beloved by Leaf fans of all ages, in the Six, across Canada, and all around the world. Father is respected among titans in the hockey industry for his world-class talents and commitment to his craft. The critical acclaim of his work and career culminated in him receiving an award named after his boyhood idol. In 2018, our Best Of guest was awarded the distinguished Foster Hewitt Memorial Award, enshrining his name into the prestigious Hockey Hall of Fame. Recently, Father made national headlines by announcing that the 2025-2026 campaign will be his final season behind the Maple Leaf broadcast mic. 45 years and over 3,800 games called will truly mark the end to an incomparable Leafs broadcast era. The response of his recent announcement has led to an enormous roar of bittersweet and heartwarming, in tribute of a man that has been the people's passport to the joy of Maple Leaf hockey. Now, to take a Leafs phrase, son is a budding broadcast star who, just like his dad, is a consummate professional who wows the fans with information, entertainment, and excitement. For 3+ seasons, Son has been the play-by-play voice of the Ontario Hockey League Sudbury Wolves, a team he once backstopped between the pipes. Our special guest goaltending resume includes on-ice experience in the OHL, QMJHL, NOJHL, and the OJHL for his hometown Stouffville Spirit. Son has also taken his talents into the podcast space. You can hear him as host of his own show, The Dencast, news and features about all things Sudbury Wolves hockey. Among the many special father and son moments shared between our special guests, this one is a first-star selection. Just this past season, both father and son shared radio play-by-play broadcast duties together for a Toronto Maple Leaf game. Fans, it's time to go holy Mackinac and make some best of noise with the Bowen boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to be joined by the iconic voice for your Toronto Maple Leafs, Joe Bowen, and his son David Bowen, star play-by-play voice for the Sudbury Wolves. Joe and David, welcome to Champs and Chums.
You sure you got the right people after all of that kind of an introduction, Anthony?
Absolutely, Bonesy.
That's overblown, I think. Thank you ever so much for having us. And it's been a few years since you and I were gracing the press box in Toronto. So it's great to hear you again. And of course, Ashton, good to see that you're getting your feet wet a little bit in this industry as well. So we're very happy to be here, and I know David is as well.
Yeah, I agree, Dad. That was a heck of an introduction, guys. Really appreciate it. And Yeah, I'm looking forward to this and seeing Ashton as the new budding star in the podcast.
Oh, well, you guys are great. Thank you so much for the accolades back to us. But the accolades certainly that I just shared, every fan of the Leafs, every fan of Joe Bowen and David Bowen know all the talent you bring. And as Bonesy, as you said, we had the opportunity to team together for almost 4 years. Geez, it's coming up to about 3 decades ago when I had the real privilege to work and team together with great pros like you representing Maple Leafs PR with Parkey and Casey and Lash and all the rest of the group there and Bob Stellick. But yeah, lots of fun to catch up. And let's get going, fellas, because fans, at the time of this recording, we are in between perhaps the Bowen boys watching the Stanley Cup being raised. So it's almost kind of cosmic here on episode 70 of Champs and Chums, our father-son special podcast. So, Joe, it's Dad over here to the left of the broadcast booth to kick off our great chat here on our Best Of segment on Champs and Chums. And I'm wondering if you can take the fans through your early interest and ambitions to get into sports broadcasting, and of course your iconic rise to become the legendary voice of Maple Leafs hockey. I actually think in doing some preparation for this show, I believe basketball was also where you started for broadcasting back in university days.
Yeah, unlike David, I wasn't good enough to play in the OHL, but I had dreams of playing and replacing Johnny Bauer, but that didn't work out, guys. And like almost any kid that played road hockey or out in the backyard, we did play-by-play of our own games and whatnot. And I kind of thought that might be an interesting way to stay in the sport and go on. And I went to the University of Windsor and took communication arts down there. And you're right, basketball was the big sport at U of W, and Dr. Paul Thomas's teams went to the national championship in 2 of the 3 years that I was at U of W. And I got to do games on our student radio station, and then actually got a gig on one of the local radio stations when we went to the national final. So that was an exciting time. I came back after school and went home to Sudbury and was fortunate enough to get a job at CKSO Radio and TV in Sudbury. And a year after that, I started doing the Sudbury Wolves games. So David and I have kind of cut our teeth going the same route. He's a much better athlete and a much better goalie than I was, but we got an opportunity to enjoy going back to Sudbury and riding the bus and doing the Sudbury Wolves.
Yeah, that's right. Good stuff. Well, let's turn it over to David now and bring him into this great father-son chat here on Champs and Chums. And David, I mean, an exceptional resume as an athlete, of course, and you playing hockey. I would dare say probably playing goaltender a bit better than your dad, right? But of course, now your budding career as a broadcast star. We talk a lot about on Champs and Chums the importance of mentorship on the show, and of course, you're alongside your own dad, who's a big legend and so well respected in not just hockey broadcasting, but just broadcasting writ large. I wonder if you can talk about him and the mentorship he's provided you, and perhaps some other great life mentors who've helped you build success as a person and as a star OHL broadcaster.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. During my days playing hockey, my dad and I would sit in the car and he would kind of talk to me about some of the goals that went in. He'd say, on the second one, maybe you could have done this. And then I'd go watch his beer league games and I'd say, Dad, maybe on the 8th one, you could have done this. So I appreciate the compliments on being a better athlete. But no, for mentors, I mean, I'd look to my dad for sure as one. Specifically in my athletic career, I wasn't a very high pick in the OHL draft, and there was a lot of I put a lot of pressure on myself to try and do well, and my dad always reminded me just to have fun and believe in myself, and that was very important for me. And also, I'd have to say my mom too, Janine. She always really kept me grounded and just really made me feel loved and said that I could do anything in this world. She would love me if I was a hockey player or an actor or whatever the case may be. And also look to my three older brothers as well, Sean, Derek, and Liam. They've all gone down different paths. Liam was a junior hockey player. The other two, more so minor hockey players. And they were always just big supporters for me. And even on my mom's side of the family, I've got a lot of cousins that would always make efforts to drive me to practices and come to games. So I had a lot of people that were around me that were really good influences and were there to always support me through whatever I was going through.
Well, that's great. It sounds like family has played a big role in inspiration, and certainly you covered that in that great reflection about mentorship, which we talk a lot about on the show. I'm going to turn over the chat now, gentlemen, over to the real star of Champs and Chums. That is my soon-to-be 13-year-old minted co-host Ashton. Ashton, I think you got a call. You got a question here for Joe.
Yeah. Joe and David, first off, I just want to say it's great to speak with you on episode 70. It's a milestone episode, and it's also great to have a father-son duo on the show as well. Now, Joe, this question is for you. Joe, you've had cup-winning career of success as an award-winning broadcaster and as the voice of the Leafs. Now, with that said, Joe, can you share with the fans some of your most memorable Leaf goal calls?
Well, I'll tell you what, Ashton, my favorite call hasn't been made yet. The last season of my career is this year, and I'm calling it win one before I'm done. And I think if they did, that would be the most memorable. But we certainly have had some great memories. When Anthony was with us, we were going through some tough times at times. Things were kind of going sideways at times. But then when Cliff Fletcher took over the team, we had that magical run in 92-93. The Nicky Borashevsky overtime goal in Detroit comes to mind. Doug Gilmour's goal from behind the net against St. Louis. Wendell Clark coming off the bench to score a hat trick to send the game to overtime in Los Angeles, only to have the referees not see Wayne Gretzky high-sticking Gilmour, and the rest is history. We've had some great runs with Pat Quinn. The games in Ottawa and the Bless You Boys call that we made was one of a memorable one. And really, I guess the other is the first game that Austin Matthews played. And he ends up not scoring once, not scoring twice, not scoring three times. He scores 4 goals on a very, very memorable night. So there's been a lot of them. We've had lots of fun doing them. And hopefully the people that have been listening are enjoying it as much as we are, bringing the games to the people in the automobiles or in their living rooms or wherever they may be listening.
David, Joe, I want to share a special date with the both of you. December 23rd, 2024. As a big Leaf fan, I was inside Scotiabank Arena for a Leafs game, and so were the both of you. Father-son, together, high atop the broadcast booth to call a period of a Leafs game. Joe and David, how special best of will that be for the father and son memory bank?
David, I'll let you go.
Yeah, sure. I'll take this one, Ashton. Well, let's just say it's the best Christmas present I've ever received. Doing a period of the game, my dad was kind of sitting off to the side just listening, and his longtime partner, Jim Ralph, and I were doing the second period, and I was certainly nervous, Ashton, I'll admit that, but I was also just super excited, and I got treated to a heck of a period. I mean,
that's right.
John Tavares scored a goal. Max Domi got into a fight. There was plenty of action, which made it easy, and it's certainly a moment I know I will never forget, and I'm super grateful for getting an opportunity like that.
And Joe, did you want to take that one too? Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that happened prior to this, guys, was I went up to Sudbury for an event that George Armstrong was being honored and having a local arena around Sudbury named in his honor. And the Wolves played at home that night, and David was doing the game, and I got to do color. which was a blast for me. I really enjoyed that. David took over for me, and I kind of stood off to the side and let him do his thing with Jimmy Ralph in the game with the Maple Leafs. But I got to do color with my son, and I had a blast. And I told Jimmy how difficult it is to do color when the shots on goal are changing all the time, and you have to keep up with that sort of stuff. So I had a real appreciation of the difficulty of a color analyst when I had to keep track of the shots on goal.
Great stuff, gentlemen. You're listening to episode 70 of the Champs and Chums podcast. We are joined here on this special Father's Day month episode by the iconic voice of your Toronto Maple Leafs, Joe Bowen, and his son, David Bowen, star play-by-play voice of the Sudbury Wolves. And as mentioned, Bonesy, this is our special Father's Day month episode. It's a wonderful time in the calendar. Well, heck, you know what? We talk about it here on the show every time, how important we need to celebrate fatherhood. You yourself have earned so much success in that space with all the success that you have coached along for your boys, David, Sean, Derek, and Liam. And, I know for you growing up, you lost your father, as did I, at a very young age. And I'm sure as you've, grown in that space of fatherhood and seen all the success that you've done, it really means a lot to you. So with all that said, Bonesy, what does Father's Day and fatherhood mean to you?
Well, you're right about losing my dad. I was 14 when I lost my dad, and he was the biggest mentor that I had. And even in the short time that I had him, it meant so much, and he gave me so much insight into trying to be a young man and try to do things. You mentioned the four boys. Without question, they're my best friends. And I think about, being a parent and sometimes having to discipline and having to be, do things to bring them along and mentor them. But as they grow older and become young men and fathers themselves, they're my best friends. And there's not a time that I don't think, if we're going to do something, that it shouldn't incorporate one or all of them in what we do. We have for 28 years packaged everybody up that was available and taken them to South Bend, Indiana for a Notre Dame football game. We've gone to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Last year we flew with a bunch of us and went down to Texas A&M to see Notre Dame play there. I've taken them to Dublin, Ireland to see the Fighting Irish play Navy. So mentorship and bringing up kids is a challenge. It's a delight. It is so rewarding. And when you have four young men the way I do, I'm so very, very proud of them. And I think about how proud their grandfather would be if they had been able to meet them and be a part of this family a lot longer than the 14 years he was with me.
Oh, Bonesy, thank you for gracing the airways with those wonderful words. And as I hear you play back, and as the fans hear you play that back, I hear what's so beautiful about fatherhood is experiences and tradition. And it sounds in that wonderful answer, you're enjoying that to the fullest with your best friends.
Joe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Joe, as a soon-to-be 13-year-old, most of my inspiration comes from my parents, and my dad is a big part of that inspiration. Now, with that said, Joe, as a dad, what are some of the greatest lessons and words of advice you have shared with your kids?
Well, Ashton, first off, I'm very disappointed in you for smoking, and you've got to stop that. I mean, you just can't be doing that at your young age. It'll stunt your growth, and you won't get any taller than your dad, who wasn't very tall.
It wasn't very tall as well. Raposi.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And my son Liam has a young man who is a little bit autistic, but Caleb is playing hockey and playing soccer and playing ball hockey. And Liam is very, very much involved in coaching. One of the absolute great parts of my life have been coaching my sons. And although hockey was a little difficult because I was away so much and I probably spent more time driving, baseball, all of my sons played ball. And I absolutely loved coaching baseball with them, tournaments and travel and practices and parties in our backyard and swimming pool parties and everything else as the kids grew into adulthood and being young people. So I think that one of the things that is so important is just to be a part of their lives, be involved, be supportive, enjoy what they're going through on a day-to-day basis. We didn't win all the time. There was lots of disappointments. I can remember a young man, David, crying and banging his bat on the ground when he was 6 or 7 years old, throwing a hissy fit. And you had to kind of coach him through all of that and realize that, you're not going to be able to be successful all the time, because sports teaches you that you have to have patience. You have to be able to understand that you're not going to win all the time, and that you just have to learn the lessons of the game to make yourself a better person, a better athlete. And then again, as work goes through, you become a better father with it too.
Yeah, and now David's swinging over the fences now too with all his great work. Good stuff. Ashton, I think you got a question for David.
Yep. David, you found success as a student at Laurentian in the highly regarded sports management program and as a competitive athlete as well. And is an exceptional feat to do both well. And currently, I'm very early in my experience with that. I'm in grade 7 and I also play rep baseball for Brampton. Now, David, can you share the value of education and competitive sports for young people?
Yeah, absolutely, Ashton. I'll start with education. It's something, especially in today's world, that everybody needs. And kind of like sports, you have your ups and downs with education as well. And you're not going to get through it without hard work. And that's something I've certainly learned with education. And I think a big thing with education, especially when you move into your university studies, is to and I was fortunate, my parents allowed me to do this, is choose something that you're really passionate about. Because if you're not studying something that you don't care about, that you don't find interesting, you won't excel at it. So the sports management program at Laurentian really caught my eye, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And for sports, especially in baseball, as my dad kind of mentioned, hockey is crazy, as we know, in Ontario. And it seems like kids are playing on different teams every single year. And every parent in Ontario thinks their kid might be Wayne Gretzky, but not a lot of parents think their kids are going to be the Barry Bonds or Babe Ruth of baseball. And I got to play with the same group of kids from probably 3 years younger than you now, Ashton, all the way until I graduated high school, until about 18. So for 8 years, I played with the same kind of nucleus of kids. And most of them are my best friends today. And I think my dad kind of touched on, especially in baseball, if you're successful 3 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer in the MLB. And that means you're not successful the other 7 times. So baseball certainly teaches you some humility. But for me, it's just the friendships that were built with all of my teammates growing up that really is what sports is all about.
Oh, that's
guys. Can I?
Yeah,
can
please,
I share
please,
a story
Bonesy.
here,
Yeah,
Anthony?
please.
Okay, so David went to St. Andrews College in Aurora, a highly great school with great academics and outstanding athletics and everything else. And then he got drafted by the Sudbury Wolves, and he went up to Sudbury for a training camp, and he played in an exhibition game, or in a inter-squad game or exhibition game. And he came out, and this delightful little girl, probably a little younger, maybe not much younger than you, Ashton, came up to him and asked him for his autograph.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very
Big
nice.
time.
I thought, that what a moment for a father. This is his first autograph. And she came over. She was very proud, and she showed me the autograph. And David had printed his name. And I looked at him. I said, "Why didn't you sign your name?" And he said, "I did." I said, "But no, you printed it." He
David,
said, "Well,
can you verify this
I don't know
story?
how to sign it."
This might be
And I said, "You mean I spent all that money sending you to private school and you can't sign your own damn name?"
Oh, hey, nobody taught me how to cursive write.
Dude, cursive writing,
After
so
that
important,
moment,
boys. Yeah.
After that moment, I made a little scribble that has turned into my autograph.
Whoa,
So
that's awesome.
that was a teaching moment for me.
Yes.
And you talk about advice. That was another great moment of advice and an incredible story among many that Joe Bowen can tell, for sure. I can vouch for that, spending time with him at games and on the road. Gentlemen, we have 2 more questions here on this great best of segment with father and son, Joe and David Bowen. And, you both know so well that radio and broadcasting is all about color. So let me set a scenario here for you, gentlemen, that I would like each of you to answer. So both of you are high atop the broadcast booth where you always are, where you do your great work. And I'm going to call this a special edition of hockey's 3-star selections. David, I will want to start with you first, and I'll ask your dad the very same question. So given this is our special Father's Day month episode, and we are Champs and Chums, FatherSon FunTalk about sports, life, and friendship, David, what are 3-star words that you would broadcast to the world describing what your dad means to you and why?
Oh, that is a great question. 3-star words for me about my dad. I would say the first one would be caring. He's there for me in any moment. He's been with me through some high moments with athletics and education, and he's also been there for me in the darkest of times. So one word would be caring. You know what? The next word would be loud. I think that's a word that is my dad. He is a loud figure. He obviously being the voice of the Leafs, I can hear my dad from 3 blocks away. So I'll go with loud. And the third one, I'll go with loving. No matter what the situation is, he's there to love his family, and that's something I've always appreciated from him.
Wow, very beautiful, beautiful words put together by son David Bowen, and seconds fresh off that beautiful words, I'd now like to bring in Father Joe Bowen. So Joe, what are those 3-star words you would broadcast to the world describing what David, Sean, Derek, and Liam mean to you and why?
First would be family. We're a bit of a mixed family. 3 older boys from a previous marriage, David from later, but all of them, there has never been any kind of stereotyping or anything. It's the 4 boys. It's the 4 Bowen boys. They mix so well, and so family, I think, is the one that I would first and foremost. I think one of the other words that I would use would be camaraderie. They get along so well. They have the same senses of humor, the same, nothing is sacred. Everything is chirped. I mean, nobody can ever get a swelled head around these 4 guys because they're going to bring you down to where you need to be at some level of getting along and everything else. And the other is, I'm going to say gang. And I'm going to say gang because as much as we may argue or have issues internally at times, if anyone even remotely thinks about saying anything about any of the others, then it is circle the wagons and we're here together as a family. And we do that at sporting events. because we cheer for the same teams. We do it if we have to be verbally assaulted by Michigan fans, and we've got a lot of great friends who are Michigan fans. Well, that's not how it works. You fight me, you fight my gang. So I think I would use those three words to describe these guys. And the other is love. And from my love to them, it is reflected, and their love comes back to me. And all of the things that they do make me so proud.
Oh, that's so beautiful, wonderful. Thank you both, father and son, for waxing so poetic about each other. And gentlemen, it's now come time for the final question on this amazing Best Of segment. And Ashton, you get the duties here to share the final questions for David and Joe.
David and Joe, what advice do you have for young kids looking to become star broadcasters just like you?
Oh, Dad, you want to take this one first?
I'm quite excited to hear your answer, actually.
Okay, yeah. Ashton, that is a great question. Like I said before, if it really is something that you're passionate about and something that you really enjoy doing, then I would say try to apply yourself in any way possible. I know I'm doing the Sudbury Wolves games now, but my start was after the pandemic. I got an email from through my school email saying if I wanted to come out and do one Sudbury Nickel Capitals U16 hockey game, and let's just say they're not paying the big dollar to do that. But it's something that I was interested in and I wanted to do, and I got myself involved. And when you do that, then people start to take notice, and you can start to advance in your career. But I would say don't be afraid. Don't worry about what other people might think of you. If it's your passion, just go for it and get involved and do as much of it as you humanly can. And you'll get to where you want to go.
My thought on it, guys, you have to be versatile, and the industry is changing almost daily. We're having to do road games instead of going to the actual arena. We're having to do them off a television monitor in a studio. That was not the case through most of the 40 some odd years of my doing the games. So you have to be versatile. The other aspect of it is I want to do Joe Bowen's job when he's finished. Well, you know what? Maybe you won't be able to get that job, but maybe there might be an opportunity. You know what? Curling needs somebody, or basketball, or soccer, or any other sport to be available. And you have to learn how to do it. You have to learn how to prepare for it. But you are showing your versatility in that not only can I do hockey, but I can also do this and this and this and this if you'll give me a job and let me get in the front door and do it. The other thing is be your own worst critic. Listen to yourself. How could I be better in that? I'm not, that was really, really good. I think I'm perfect. No, you're not. Think about it. What could you have done differently? Could you approach this differently? How could you have prepared better? How could you have incorporated statistical information or whatever is involved in the broadcast? And try to do as many things as you possibly can. You guys have got a great idea here, just kind of getting your feet wet, doing a podcast. Oh, great. Well, that wasn't available 5-10 years ago. That this is all something very, very new. So be versatile, be well prepared, be your own worst critic, and listen to yourself and try to think about what maybe you could do differently or a different approach. And I think that you'll end up being a better broadcaster for it. And hopefully someone will come along and actually want to pay you money to do it.
Fantastic final words, father and son. That's Joe and David Bowen. Joe, the iconic voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. His son, David, the star play-by-play voice of the Sudbury Wolves. Joe and David, we want to thank you so much for taking time out to join us on this special day, Father's Day episode for Champs and Chums, episode 70. You know, David, you said it earlier, and I want to use that to describe how we're feeling. You mentioned when that December 23rd game when you and your dad shared the radio play-by-play duties, and you call that second period. It was a Christmas gift and the best one they ever received. Well, having the two of you come on this show here in June is a Christmas gift to us. It is no surprise when in speaking with you and with all the fans that you have, how talented you are, the personality you bring. Joe, for those looking to connect with Joe on X at Bonesy1951 and Instagram at Bonesy54, you can also, fans, get your special messages on Cameo. Joe is doing lots of celebrity work on Cameo as well, too, so make sure you check that out. And then for David is on X at Bonesy34, Instagram _David Bowen. And Bonesy, it's been so great to catch up with you after all these years. So good of you to make time. For many hockey fans, Joe, you are the music of our lives, and you are the soundtrack of Leafs Nation. And I and Ashton and millions of Leaf fans all around the world are getting ready to give you a year-long tribute for all the talents you bring. And speaking of talent, David, I mean, you've charted so much success early in your broadcast career, and your future is incredibly bright. In fact, I'll say it's uncharted and more record-breaking to come. So want to thank you both for coming on, and I've got my co-host here tugging at me because he wants an opportunity to say thank you to both of you.
David, Joe, thank you for coming on the show. It's been an honor having you both on. And Joe, you are a true legend, and I love listening to you, whether it's in the car, in the kitchen, on the radio. Your talent is truly generational, and you inspire many Leafs fans and also me as well. And my dad shared with me some stories of how you guys teamed up with the Leafs as well, and how you guys met in the with the Leafs. And David, you are doing such great things at only 24 years old, and you have a great and bright future ahead of you. So Joe and David, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, man.
My
Thanks,
pleasure.
guys.
Yep, you did a great job, guys. Well done.
Great stuff. Ashton, you're going to take us to break here on episode 70.
This ends our Father-Son Best Of segment. More Father-Son Fun Talk coming up. You're listening to the Champs and Chums podcast.
Welcome back to Champs and Chums. Happy June. Happy Father's Day month, everybody. We hope you're doing well. It's episode 70, a milestone one of Champs and Chums. Anthony and Ashton here powering the airways with another special edition of Champs and Chums. And Ashton, it is now time for another special edition and a special segment. It's our All-Pro Go segment, everybody, where we have a chance to shine a spotlight on a sport or an activity. And my co-host Ashton gets into it with his All-Pro Go, which is a great spotlight on a sport. Ashton, what's it for this month?
So for this month, we're going to be talking about water polo.
Well, I gotta say it's quite actually appropriate because I gotta tell you, fans, at the time of this recording, we have truly hit summer. And it is sweltering.
Jeez.
Like the humidity here.
Yeah, it's like 34 and feels like 48 or something.
So, Ashton, we're going to help the fans out because we're going to give you some what to know, an All-Pro Go on water polo to cool you off. Ashton, take it away.
Water polo is a competitive team sport played in water between two teams of 7 players each. The game consists of 4 quarters in which the teams attempt to score goals by throwing the ball into the opposing team's goal. The team with more goals at the end of the game wins the match. Each team is made up of 6 field players and 1 goalkeeper. Excluding the goalkeeper, players participate in both offensive and defensive roles. It is typically played in an all-deep pool where players cannot touch the bottom. A game consists mainly of the players swimming to move about the pool, treading water, mainly using the egg beater kick, passing the ball, and shooting at the goal. Teamwork, tactical thinking, and awareness are also highly important aspects. Water polo is a highly physical and demanding sport and has frequently been cited as one of the most difficult to play. Special equipment for water polo includes a water polo ball, a ball of varying colors which floats on the water, numbered and colored caps, and 2 goals, which either float in the water or are attached to the sides of the pool. The game is thought to have originated in Scotland in the mid-19th century. Specifically, William Wilson is thought to have developed it in the 1870s as a sort of water rugby. The game further developed with the formation of the London Water Polo League and has since expanded, becoming popular in parts of Europe, the United States, Brazil, China, Canada, and Australia.
Well, there you go, fans. All Pro Go this month is water polo. It's a Did You Know Sports Spotlight. And Ashton, you did an incredible job sharing with the fans one very cool sport. And yeah, I mean, I got to say that's got to be really physically demanding and great exercise as well, too. I myself am thinking about our history, and I think, we've had some modified attempts to play water polo, not with the nets, but actually I remember in swimming classes and just being out at resorts over this last several years, you've actually played a hand in some modified form of water polo.
Yeah, so usually for the Brampton swim lessons at the last day, we'll play some water polo, and it's really fun. We'll have a ball, we'll have teams, and you have a goalie, and your goal is to knock down the flutter boards, and that's how you get a point, and it's really fun. And also, it's a great way to keep cool and active during these hot days at the swimming pool.
Okay, fans, you've heard it from a certified meteorologist, Ashton. Good way to stay cool. You've heard it now, fans, from both your co-hosts. It's a certified All-Pro Go. You got to try water polo this summer. All right, we got a lot more show to come. You're listening to Milestone Episode 70 of the Champs and Chums podcast. FatherSon FunTalk, you're listening to Milestone Episode 70 of the Champs and Chums podcast. And Ashton, it's now time for our signature segment. It's our Champs and Chums segment where we salute our stars on and off the field. And Ashton, this month is very heartfelt. It's very heartwarming. I said it at the outset of the show. Every month, as far as I'm concerned, is a very special month to shine a spotlight on father and son, to shine a spotlight on the importance of fatherhood. I don't think enough of us do in this world, but we do. We have done this with our passion project, and this particular time in the show, we salute our stars on and off the field, and we're going to pay tribute to the living. And we're going to pay tribute to the legacy in this one because it is a forever father and son sweep here for our Champs and Chum segment. Ashton is going to share his champ and chum, and then I, yours truly, Anthony, will share my champ and chum. So Ashton, take it away for your champ and chum on this episode.
Well, my champ and chum is my dad, the co-host here to my left.
Are you talking about me, son?
Yes.
Well, that's very nice of you. I feel where I'm at in my life and how I value fatherhood. Anytime I get an opportunity to pump your tires, man, I do that. With this incredible project that we've had, all the experiences that we've shared, the many amazing best of guests, titans in sports media, in business and politics and community. It's nice of you to recognize me. So I appreciate that. Why did you choose to do that this episode?
Well, it's Father's Day, and I wanted to shout out you and tell the fans more about how you're such a great dad. So my dad has been here truly since day one, and he's taught me a lot of great life lessons, believing in yourself. He's been there for me and being my coach for Little League Soccer, and then moving into baseball and also basketball as well. But this year it's been a lot different because he's always been there for me, and he's been there after the game to give me advice on what I can do better and what I need to improve on, and also these good life lessons and like TED Talks before the game.
TED Talks? Well, I don't know, but yeah, well, thank you, though. That's very nice of you.
He'll always make sure I bring my banana before a practice or a game, and it's been fun. It's been fun doing the Passion Project, and it was fun at the tournament as well, being with you as well. And he's been there with me, alongside me, since the day I was born. So it's really great to call him my dad.
Well, that's really nice. I think it's really nice, Ashton, to hear it from you. You know, you're going to be becoming a teenager. We're going to celebrate that actually on next month's show, becoming a true teenager. But I just kind of do what I do, Ashton, as a dad, and try to be a great example to you. To not only just, I believe in anything you do. It's not only what you talk about, it's how you walk it as well, too, and how you set a great example. And as I've said to you many times before, Ashton, I value fatherhood so much because I realize how important it is and how, many people should be putting in the quality time that I choose to do. And it's really nice to hear that from you. Anything from the practical and the pragmatic, whether it be giving you sort of the advice post game, or even just the pep talks before the game, and even just the practical, like making sure that things are ready for you. Big meals are prepared for big game days and such, and contributing that way, or just giving you my candid advice, which as I've always said to you, you're the executive director of your life, and we want to see you do well. And if I can make a contribution in that way of giving you great advice and helping you being a great coach, and you're the one that kind of leads the way, that's the way I love to see it. Yeah, you're in charge. So, but hearing it, I think on the airwaves, because as these. These budding teenagers, they say and do a lot of things, but it's nice to hear you put a pin in it and point to it on this episode. So I truly appreciate that, especially in a month so special like June, extra special. Well, thanks, Ashton. And it's now time for Dad here to shine a spotlight. We said it's a forever father and son sweep, and I want to remember I talked about it's not only just in the living, but also in the legacy. That you pay homage to the wonderful people that have helped guide you and help shape the life that you decide to lead. And I want to thank my late father, Alan Alfred, your grandpa Alan Ashton, on a month like this. And I don't know, you might have seen it on our platform, fans, but we have made it a point, Ashton and I, father and son, to visit Grandpa Alan, to visit my dad, who's resting peacefully in Scarborough. He's been gone for let's see, I'm 9 years old. So now what is that, Ashton? That's 43 years. 43 years since he's passed away. But we've been going consecutively since Ashton was born. So this has got to be our 13th year. Ashton, you wanted to jump in?
No, I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. But I want to continue that.
Yeah, you keep going.
Okay, because I saw you shared a note there. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't involved with what I was doing.
Nope.
Okay,
yep.
Sounds good. But let me get back, Ashton, because special focus, of course, on my dad here. And it means a lot, right, to be able to go to see him at least once a year back to where he's resting in Scarborough, because it's a constant reminder to me that in order to be great, you have to be led by the right kind of people. You have to be led by the right kind of conditions. You have to have wisdom. You have to have inspiration. You have to have excitement and enthusiasm for this thing called life. And I got to tell you, while it was only 9 years that I had my dad in my life, it's all of the memories I remember of him, the things that he had done. But it's more so the way that people spoke about my dad was exceptional. The way he could, he's an incredible orator. And I think I kind of got that from him. Not saying that my mom's side doesn't have it, but the way that I hear my dad was so charismatic and could be a leader in a situation and in a scenario was amazing. And I miss him still. But I get the opportunity to do right and do it in the way that I do it with you, Ashton. So thank you for making the travel out to Scarborough every Father's Day weekend for the last 13 years. And why don't we talk about that, and how do you feel about doing that as what's been our real one of our traditions on Father's Day weekend?
Yeah, it's been a real good tradition to go see him just every Father's Day, and it's a great way to say hi to him, give him some updates on what's happening. Like just recently, we went to go see him on this Father's Day, and I told him that the Alfred name is actually on the back of a sports jersey now.
Yeah, that's incredibly special to me, and I know you shared that with your Grandpa Alan, and to hear you state that and talk about that was extremely powerful, very, very memorable and awarding. And, I guess really to summarize how I feel is very grateful that I'm able to share those experiences with you. And I want to tribute Alan Alfred because it's, what they say in life, fans, it's not what people who it's people that who knows you and what you stand for, what you speak for, the principle and the values that you espouse. And, everything I heard about this man, Alan Alfred, was simply amazing and very gratifying that I could say that I was his son, and to be able to now to share and build experiences with Ashton, father and son, like we do, whether it be on the air for Champs and Chums or just off in the air, the things that we do, it's incredibly special. And you said you had a chance to say hello to Alan, to Grandpa Alan and my dad. Well, you know what? It's to always say that he's never forgotten. And I think that's the biggest thing I wanted to share on the air, because he will be loved forever. It's been an amazing Champs and Chums segment, and we got a little bit more show to come. But you're listening to episode 70 of the Champs and Chums podcast. Welcome back to Champs and Chums and Ashton. It is now time to close the chapter on what has been an illustrious, a memorable, Milestone episode 70. It's within Father's Day month as well, too. And Ashton, I've asked you for all previous 69 episodes. I'm going to ask you now on the Milestone 70th episode. Ashton, what did you learn today?
Well, I learned about Joe's first crack at broadcasting at university basketball.
Well, I mean, geez, yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize it because Joe Bowen's illustrious and legendary and longtime career, you know him as the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. But yeah, I mean, that was good of us to put a spotlight on that. And, you know, actually, Ashton, we never got a chance to cover it with Joe and David, but Joe's done a number of other sports on the broadcasting side. He's done lacrosse as well, too, the Toronto Rock, Ashton. He's done boxing, that I know. Him and Spider Jones, another episode, what was that, 69, I believe. No, episode 65. 66, 67. We'll check the notes, fans. Yeah, Spider Jones and Joe Bowen called boxing. And then, of course, you mentioned University of Windsor,
yep,
where he got his crack at calling some university basketball games. Good stuff. What else did you learn?
Well, this one's actually a funny one, fans. I learned more about... So Joe shared a story about David's first autograph, actually. So after he came off the ice, there was a girl around my age, and she had a puck, and she went up to David for her first ever autograph. And David signed...
I don't know if it was a puck or a paper, but keep going.
I'm not sure if it was a puck or a paper, but she wanted an autograph from David, and so David went and signed it. But the funny thing is, he just printed his name. He just put David,
yeah,
and he didn't put it in cursive.
Incredible education.
And
too.
Joe said, all those years I've put you in private school, you still couldn't do cursive.
Well, listen, I think, you know, he was just wowed by the moment as well, too. That guy has got, David Bowen's got an incredible head on his shoulders. He's done well, and he's going to, you know, I think he said it in an interview, Ashton, if he could do half of what his father Joe did, he's going to have an exceptional career if he so chooses to get into broadcasting. I so hope he does. You so hope he stays in it, and many of his fans do as well, because he's actually been very exceptional with his talents on broadcasting. I think the best is yet to come for him. All right, good stuff, Ashton. What else did you learn today? Did anything else?
I'll add something in as well. I learned more about the father-son sports broadcasting duos as well.
Well, that was a great connection that we made. And fans, what was really neat is that we pulled in some past guests, of course, as we got into that conversation. Hopefully, Ashton, we'll have some of those special guests that we mentioned in that free-for-all segment that'll join us on an upcoming show. Well, it has been an amazing and illustrious was the word I used talking about episode 70. Ashton, who do we want to thank for helping us power up Champs and Chums?
We want to thank the Power Girls and Uncle Dennis who helped produce the show.
That's right. And we want to thank the Power Girls and Uncle Dennis who've been such an institution on Champs and Chums. And we want to also thank AC. Angela, thanks for stepping up for these few episodes here and helping us produce the show. You're doing an incredible job powering us up. Fans, we want to thank the iconic voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Joe Bowen, and his talented son, the play-by-play broadcaster, the Sudbury Wolves, David Bowen, for joining us on this special episode. Thank you, Bowen boys, for your wisdom and inspiration. Ashton, where can the fans subscribe and check us out?
They can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Play, SoundCloud, and many more worldwide podcast platforms.
Many more worldwide podcast platforms. That's Champs and Chums. And fans, you can check us out on social. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on YouTube. You can even check us out on TikTok at Champs and Chums, our website, champsandchums.com. All right, Ashton, this is going to be a jousting and joyous June signature fist bump, my man. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. And Ashton, as we always say, cheers to champs, cheers to chums, and cheers to an all-star day. Thanks for listening.